are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. For I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am.
Hello, bonsoir à toutes et tous. Bienvenue sur ce live spécial leadership au féminin. Hi everyone, welcome to this live with Rachel Beck. I am currently in live with Rachel on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Facebook, talking about transmission and women leadership, women empowerment. So hi Rachel, welcome.
Bonjour Ami, comment ça va?
I love definitely your accent. So if you don't mind, Rachel, I will probably switch in French for some of us who are connected right now in live. And if they are not super comfortable with English, let's try this exercise. It's my first time using English and French. The idea, of course, is to make this live comfortable for everyone, for your network and for mine also. So again, I'm so honored. Je suis vraiment honorée to get you on board today. You know that I'm dedicated to women leadership. Talking about transmission, women empowerment. Vous savez à quel point pour moi le sujet du leadership et du leadership au féminin, de la transmission, ce sont des sujets qui sont importants pour moi. Et ce soir, j'ai vraiment l'honneur d'avoir Rachel Beck avec moi sur le fauteuil d'un esprit saint dans un corsage. I'm really enjoyed, Rachel, to get you on board. You are my first super personality, and I'm really honored to get this opportunity to put you under the light. C'est vraiment un honneur pour moi de mettre en lumière.
I'm very grateful and honored to be here. Thank you.
Super. So just before sharing with you my questions about leadership, you are really an inspiring woman for everyone. I'm sure that a lot of persons will recognize you right now on LinkedIn specifically and on other networks. And I have read your book, Finding Your Way.
Merci beaucoup.
Et je vous propose, vous qui me suivez en direct, c'est un livre en anglais, Finding Your Way, Trouve ton chemin. Mais il est très accessible. Et when I read your book, I do realize that it was a urgent necessity for me to interview you on live, Rachel, because you have so many things to transmit, to share to everyone.
Yeah, it's not a common story. It's not a common story.
If you're fine with that, I will probably ask you several questions, understanding your story, understanding why you are so dedicated to transmit, to share, to empower people. Si c'est OK pour toi, Rachel, les questions que je vais te poser, c'est vraiment justement de partager en quoi est-ce que écrire cette histoire, partager, transmettre, pousser les autres aussi, leur donner de l'espoir, c'est important. C'est vraiment l'objet des questions. This is the question topic today, transmission, leadership. So if you're fine, I did prepare a presentation to introduce you with my words. Of course, I will be, please just pardon if I'm not exhausted in all your experience because you have a lot of things to share probably. And after that, let's start with the questions. Yes?
Absolutely.
Alors, I do start in English first. Alors, Rachel, definitely it sounds really difficult, really hard to define your path and your personality in a few words. So you are the author of Finding Your Way, looking like an unbelievable autobiography, sharing your path with grace, sensitiveness, humility, and wisdom. I met you first time on LinkedIn, and you were on a regular basis putting others under the light.
Mm.
So today, your turn to raise your alignment journey, to inspire women and men to break the rules, to keep faith despite roots, origins, cultures, genders.
Right.
And again, it's really an honor for me to integrate you in this leadership program, because you are first inspiring my own story, my own life, and I'm pretty sure that you are inspiring a lot of people after this interview. I do hope about that. So transmission in French. Do you want to make the transmission, the translation in French, Rachel?
In French? No, but I want to learn French. So I absolutely, I think that French is a beautiful, beautiful language. And that's why I want to learn it.
Oh, super.
Just listening to you makes me happy. So.
I think before translating this my introduction, do you want to share with me and with all of us who are currently listening to you, what do you think about my brand, un esprit sain dans un corps sage?
I think that we need your brand. I think that we need more women who are empowering other women. I think we need more women to come together, to work together, to lift each other up. As one, there's a lot we can do, but together, the possibilities are endless. That's how I feel. I feel that on a cellular level. I feel that when we combine our hearts, our souls, and we light up the people behind us, I think that is our role. I've been very blessed because I have strong female role models in my life, very strong, powerful women. So I learn from them, and now I want to pass that on to the women that I come across on my journey.
Wow, super! So you do share already an important message that you have been inspired by a lot of women also in your life. Tu as été inspirée par beaucoup de femmes dans ta carrière, dans ta vie. Et est-ce que tu serais d'accord du coup pour répondre à la première question? Will you be ready for the first question?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a little bit translation in French. Ce que je disais de Rachel en introduction, c'est que c'est vraiment une personne qui a l'habitude de mettre les autres en lumière. You are used to put others under the light. Et pour une fois, j'avais envie qu'elle soit sur le fauteuil d'un esprit saint dans un corsage pour la mettre en lumière, elle, et partager avec ce qu'elle fait habituellement, de la grâce, de la sensibilité, de l'humilité, une grande sagesse aussi, beaucoup de conscience, son histoire, son expérience pour inspirer, pour donner aussi des messages d'espoir extrêmement positifs, quelle que soit notre culture, nos origines, nos racines, et vraiment d'encourager vous, les hommes et les femmes, à casser les codes et à écrire votre propre histoire. C'est vraiment le message extrêmement puissant. This is your really powerful message, Rachel, talking about breaking the rules, yes? So, question one.
Sure.
Let's make it. So in your book, you talk about what matters to you, what is important to you. So I already talked about that just before, sharing with as many people as possible and inspiring them to fulfill themselves. Why is this so important to you? What is the main difference between fate and destiny for you?
That's a beautiful question. I believe that destiny has played a huge part of my life since the day I was born. I'll be honest with you. My mom died, 2 days after giving birth. And then somebody who I don't know if it was my father or not brought me to the founder of the orphanage. All those events were lined up, right? And then I was adopted from the founder of the orphanage. So all those steps, I had 5 parents, right? The 2 biological, the 2 who adopted me, and the 1 who took care of me at the orphanage.
Okay.
That was destiny, right? It was destiny. And that legacy is so important to me, to honor all 5 parents. It's extremely important to me. The ones, who have passed and the ones who are living today. I am deeply conscious of where I come from. I was blessed, adopted by a beautiful family that and I am conscious that I don't forget where my roots are. I never forget how my life started. I never forget that my mother died giving birth to me. That is something that stays in my heart every day, and I wake up and I think about her, and I think about the sacrifice she gave, the ultimate sacrifice for my life to be here. So everything has been out of my control, right? A lot of things of my life. I didn't pick my religion. I didn't pick my who was going to adopt me. I didn't pick any of that. As I've gotten older, I've learned that I know that my destiny is still happening in this moment. Yeah, I'm conscious of that.
Okay. If you don't mind, I will just translate quickly. Donc du coup, ce que Rachel, je pense que certains d'entre vous ont peut-être compris. Thank you first, Rachel, because your English is really, really affordable for me. Thanks for making an effort. En fait, Rachel, pour ceux qui n'ont pas encore lu son bouquin, qui ne la connaissent pas encore, elle nous parle justement de ces nombreux parents qu'elle a, puisque elle est née en Inde. Elle a perdu sa mère à sa naissance. Donc, elle parle de cette première parentalité. Ensuite, elle a été adoptée par une famille, d'ailleurs aux États-Unis, d'une famille juive. Donc, elle parle de cette deuxième parentalité dont elle a aussi hérité. Et puis aussi, cette famille d'accueil qu'il a récupérée avant l'adoption. Donc, quelque part, elle est déjà en gratitude de cet héritage qu'elle a récupéré de ces 3 parentalités différentes. Et chaque jour, elle est en gratitude, elle est reconnaissante du sacrifice que sa mère a fait à sa naissance, pour lui donner finalement la vie. Et ce qu'elle reconnaît aussi aujourd'hui, c'est que jusque-là, en fait, ça a été sa destinée. C'est-à-dire qu'elle n'a pas eu le contrôle de ces événements. Ça s'est fait sans qu'elle soit forcément dans le contrôle. Et puis voilà, on en était là. Thanks for your sharing.
Oh.
Did you understand my French or?
I'm listening to learn. I'm listening.
Super. Okay. So again, so I do understand that your life was quite your destiny was quite already over emotional from start. So why it is so important for you to share your story to everyone today?
It's really important to me. If by sharing my story I can inspire somebody to not quit, to be motivated, to be inspired, then that's why I'm sharing it. I'm doing it, to stand up for the mental health community. I'm doing it to stand up for the infertility community. I'm doing it to stand up for people who have lost children. I'm doing it for the women who have been through a hysterectomy like I have. These are issues that are very important to me. I stand up for racism. I stand up for gender issues. I stand up for a lot of different things that mean something. So I wake up every day.
Yes.
And if my ultimate goal is that I inspire one person, if I reach that goal that day, then I can go to bed. I can go to bed knowing I did the right thing.
Wow, your message is really powerful, and I can hear that, even in your cells, your personal cells, that it's so important for you to encourage, to boost people, because and not to quit, as you said, and I think your story is crazy because you have faced so many challenges as a human could face, from your start to what you are just currently doing again. And I sometimes, when we don't have any idea about a piece of what you faced.
A piece of it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. There's a lot. I battled a disease for 20 years on and off, which endometriosis. So I try to be a voice for endometriosis. Lost a child, was pregnant, lost a child. Had a failed adoption where I fell in love with a baby girl and then lost her all in 24 hours. So there was never not an option, right? I had core moments, which because you read the book, in my life where I made conscious choices to either get back up or not get back up. And I knew that if I didn't get back up, that it was going to be a make it or break it moment for me in my life.
Yeah. Pardon, désolée pour ceux qui me suivent en français. À la question en quoi c'était important pour elle de transmettre, Rachel nous répond effectivement que ce qui est important pour elle, c'est de transmettre au plus grand nombre pour qu'ils n'abandonnent pas, pour qu'ils continuent, que vous continuez à y croire, à ne pas abandonner malgré tout ce que vous pouvez vivre, traverser. Et aujourd'hui, avec son parcours de vie, elle pousse, elle motive les personnes qui vivent des drames, qui vivent des problèmes raciaux, des femmes aussi qui ont des difficultés à accéder à la maternité pour être des mamans. C'est vraiment son histoire, Rachel. C'est aussi des personnes aussi qui ont du mal à communiquer, à trouver leur place, qui ont du mal à se connecter à leur identité, parce que Rachel aussi, elle a récupéré du coup dans son héritage une multiculturalité, une diversité culturelle. Et I do feel really over emotion, Rachel, so it's a little bit touchy for me to translate. Je ressens beaucoup d'émotions en l'écoutant, en la voyant, et je comprends que ce sont des sujets qui la touchent profondément dans son histoire. Vous l'avez compris, et vraiment lisez son bouquin si vous pouvez, parce que je pense qu'on ne peut pas imaginer une once de ce qu'elle a pu vivre. Et quand vous la voyez aujourd'hui, when we see you right now, Rachel, I'm just so I cannot prevent from admiring your resilience, your capacity of resilience. Yes, definitely your strength. That's really inspiring for a lot of people.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Did I say that right? Merci beaucoup.
Sorry, say again.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci. Alors, another question. One moment in your life. I do have an idea about your answer, but let's see. What a moment in your life which has definitely impacted your path? A moment where it will be never as it was before.
Oh, so like a negative thing or something positive? Okay, so I'm going to go for the positive. This is what changed my life forever. Going home to India for the first time.
Oh.
That was everything to me. That was, I remember, because it was like, I had been on the plane for 24 hours. It was dark. I had been in the dark. But when the airport opened and my foot touched where my story began, that had something I had dreamt about my whole life. India is my home. India is in my heart. And then to go to the orphanage and to search out I was only there for 11 months, but those are huge 11 months in my journey. That meant I searched the hospital to find, I got to see all these places, and then to connect with the children at the orphanage. And I'm donating part of the proceeds that are going back to the orphanage. That's really important to me. Going home to India, and then I got to go again. So that was everything for me.
When did you go there for the first time?
2013, and then I went back in 2015, and then and then I'm planning to go back again. I don't know when, with the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's India's my heart. I mean, it's, you know, I'm an Indian American Jewish woman. That's who I am.
Yeah, definitely. So you have been there within your 11 months. You said yes.
I was in India for
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. I was adopted at 11 months old, and
I
so
think.
my whole life it called to me. You know, I
Mm,
wanted to
mm.
know, like, where are my roots? Where did my story
Oh,
begin? What did it look like? And then to be a majority for me was huge. Like, you know, you and I look alike. I mean, I'm looking at the screens. We look alike. Like we have a lot of the same Indian features. We do.
yeah, sure. For some of you who are currently attending the live, you probably recognize some same characters between Rachel. Yes,
That's my heart.
Rachel and myself. Yes. I'm really, when you were talking about India, I felt that was warm here, because just in between parentheses, I've never been in India. I grew up in Madagascar. My dad, of course, my family immigrated from India for the fourth generation, I think, beginning of 19, let's say, 90s. Sorry. So I've never been there, and each time I wanted to go there, each time it has been cancelled. And I will probably share this story later, because it will probably appeal your own story. But I pray right now that I'm ready to visit India.
There's no way to describe it. There's really no way to it's family. You know, it's family. It's our ancestral roots. I loved learning everything about our culture. I loved the music, the food, to dance in India was amazing. Like to dance in India.
Oh,
Oh,
music and dancing and
the music, the
yeah.
dancing, the hearts. The hearts. The Indian heart is a beautiful heart. It is an absolutely beautiful heart.
So it was I can feel it, that it was a reconnection to your own identity. Yes.
Huge.
Hmm.
Huge.
Yes, I feel it. Alors, pour ceux qui nous suivent en français, vous l'avez compris peut-être, le moment clé qui a vraiment basculé pour elle, ça a été la visite la première fois en Inde en 2013, si je ne me trompe pas. Elle y est retournée en 2015. Et en fait, Rachel a visité l'orphelinat où elle a grandi, elle a grandi jusqu'à ses 11 mois avant d'être adoptée. Elle s'est vraiment reconnectée à ses racines. Ce qu'elle disait aussi, ce qu'elle partage, c'est qu'en fait, elle a reconnu des gens comme elle, comme elle, comme moi. Et ça lui a fait du bien aussi de se reconnecter en fait, elle s'est reconnectée à son cœur. Et c'est ce qu'elle partage, en direct. Alors, Rachel, you were just a few minutes before talking about feeling connected to people like you when you were visiting India. Talking about this identity, this how do you say that, belonging feeling. We say that, yes, in English.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly how you say it. It was a feeling of feeling comfortable, feeling safe. You know, I deal with a lot of issues in America because of the color of my skin, right? I'm a minority in this country, right? So I feel like when I'm in India, I for the couple weeks that I'm there, I feel safe. I feel like I see somebody who has, similar features. That feeling of having that, even if it's for a couple weeks, it's gigantic for me. It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
Amazing, really. Let's talk about racism. You are sharing some experience of racism in your book, and I was really surprised by the distance you were making with that. Sharing a huge maturity, wisdom, open-mindedness, vision even when you were facing this racism. And have you observed, my first question about this topic about racism, have you observed societal evolution all over the world and probably in US in general? And my second question is, what this experience of diversity or of rejection, we would say, I've learned to you?
Yeah. So there's a couple. I've been dealing with this a long time. I've been dealing with racism, anti-Semitism. I've been teaching diversity awareness for 15 years, and that's my way of educating. And I do that, I go in and I speak in churches, synagogues, or university. This is what I do. I give talks to educate people. It is something I deal with a lot. It is something that when I've had 5 bad racial instances since March. So the only place, it's something that when I walk outside my front door, I hope for the best. I hope that it's going to be a good experience. It's going to be a good day. I hope that people won't dismiss me. I don't judge people based on their gender, their skin color, their religion. People are people, and I respect them. The problem is that I would love to be given that same respect too, that I give people. That's what matters to me. I've had 2 very scary experiences where they're really scary. So I'm using my voice to talk about this. I chose to not be silent about it. I chose that for people to understand. For me, racism is a deeply emotional trauma. And that when one event occurs, it opens up every other event. So it's not that I just remember that day, that racist experience. It means I remember every single other one I had.
Thanks for this sharing. I'm sorry, I don't want to make some to make you go back to bad memories.
I'm okay.
Thanks for sharing that. When you are talking about respecting people, and that you are expecting from them to respect you also, I think that's the minimum of value. We as a human value, we should have, all of us, grow up and sharing to others. And you were talking about transmission and education. What kind of message are you sharing to people about this? What kind of event are you attending to share that?
So when I go in and I teach this, when someone calls and says, Rachel, can you come in and teach? And I've done it for companies and different, organizations. It's to make people aware of what's really going on.
Okay.
Because I have still met people. Even a couple of weeks ago, I met somebody who, and she was so honest, and I loved her for it, and she was asking a good question. She didn't know that certain things existed. And so when I did the first part of the book tour, and I'm going to do it again once the pandemic's, everybody, it's healthy and everybody's safe, it was a big question that would come up. People would say, what could I do to prevent this from happening? And that's that you have the conversation like you and I are doing today. This is how we change the world, what you and I are doing today.
Yeah, absolutely. Alors, pour ceux qui nous suivent, vous avez, voilà, je ne sais pas ce que vous avez compris de ce que Rachel partage, mais en quelques mots, effectivement, je lui ai posé la question du racisme, parce qu'elle partage beaucoup d'expériences sur le racisme. Et ce qui m'a beaucoup impressionnée dans sa démarche très, très jeune, c'est qu'elle a toujours eu beaucoup de bienveillance, d'ouverture, de conscience aussi, et de maturité, de sagesse face au racisme auquel elle a été confrontée jeune. Et ce qu'elle partage, c'est justement que très, très jeune, elle a vite compris que c'était important de partager des messages de tolérance, d'inclusion, quelles que soient les origines, les races, les religions, déjà par sa propre histoire, et puis parce que c'est une vraie mission de vie pour elle, de vraiment d'inclure d'inclure l'humain dans ce monde-là. Elle nous partage aussi 2 expériences traumatisantes, sans les décrire, mais elle nous dit, voilà, j'ai vécu 2 moments extrêmement traumatisants au niveau du racisme. Et ce qui est difficile pour moi, c'est pas juste le racisme en lui-même, c'est le trauma que ça a provoqué et que ça a généré derrière, pour moi. Ça a vraiment généré un vrai trauma à 2 reprises. En quoi aussi c'est important, du coup, vous l'avez compris, en quoi c'est important pour elle de pouvoir diffuser, distiller ces messages qu'elle diffuse aujourd'hui au sein des organisations, dans les écoles, au niveau des institutions, puis là encore avec nous en live, parce qu'elle est vraiment convaincue que c'est comme ça qu'on peut changer le monde. Et la vocation, la mission de Rachel, c'est bien effectivement de transformer, d'apporter un changement même à son échelle au niveau du monde. I do hope that I was
That's so beautiful.
the right message.
I love listening to you talk. Thank you.
Super. Thanks for your patience. Anyway, one question which is a little bit sensitive, you know, that I'm sharing a lot of message in terms of women empowerment, changing the mindset, mentalities. That's absolutely crucial today. And with your story, with your personal story, I know how important, how critical it was to break the rules, to change the mind in terms of women fulfillment. And not that women can fulfill themselves, not only being a mother or accessing to maternity. Can you just share your message around this subject, this topic, with your experience, of course?
Sure. Yeah, it's really important. Here it is. It's so simple. Women need to support other women. Not every woman is a mother, you know, and I've had all my experiences where people have been unkind to me about not being a mom have come from women. That I'm not a woman because I'm a mom. Well, that's not necessary. I'm still a woman. I'm still a woman because I'm a woman, even if I'm not a mom. I'm a woman, even having the hysterectomy. None of that changes who I am. So the most important thing is that we stand together, we stand united, that we provide more love and empathy towards women, towards everybody, every human being, but especially when it comes to women. That's that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. We need to light each other's lights. We need to support each other. We need to stand in our power together. And there are women who choose not to be a mom by choice. They choose not to be a mom. Whatever their decision is, it's their decision. You know, it's not another woman's job to judge that decision. Unfortunately, I can't ever get away from this question because it's always, do you have kids? Do you have kids? And every time somebody asks me that question, it makes me think of everything. So my friends and my family started doing something. When they meet people, they don't ask them if they have children. They don't ask that question anymore. They just, if somebody volunteers that information, then they'll respond. But they wonder, okay, maybe it's somebody like, Rachel, who doesn't have children, has lost a child. Maybe it's not an appropriate first question to ask a human being.
Yeah, you're right. And actually, we are talking about society pressure, which is still running.
Yeah, it's huge. It's so good. When I talk about this, I've said, maybe that's not the first question you should ask somebody. Like, hi, how are you? Are you this? Are you married? Maybe like change that a little bit.
Yeah, and that makes me remember about my interview when I was looking for a job. I think it's been a few years right now because I don't have the age anymore to get kids, fortunately. But during an interview, the HR asked me if I plan to get some kids. and I did face, and I think a lot of women right now could feel concerned about my message and your message, that you are judged with your life objectives, also your intentions. If you want to get kids, you will be judged, and if you don't want to get kids, you will be judged also. So that's
you said it perfectly.
That's schizophrenic. Yes, definitely. And thanks again for to share that, because that's really important to understand that we should not be only reduced to our a choice or not a choice. Actually, it's more of that. Alors en français, c'est un message qui me touche beaucoup, parce que Rachel nous parle du fait de ne pas réduire la femme, l'épanouissement de la femme à son rôle de mère ou à son rôle de fille, de femme, d'épouse, etc. Ce qui est extrêmement critique encore aujourd'hui dans la société. La femme est encore extrêmement réduite à être l'épouse d'eux, la mère d'eux, la fille d'eux, ou si elle n'est pas mère d'ailleurs, elle n'est pas totalement accomplie. Et c'est vraiment le message qu'elle passe, Rachel, ce soir, c'est justement de ne pas juger en fait le choix de ces femmes, qu'elles décident d'accéder ou pas à la maternité, qu'elles décident de se marier ou pas, ce sont leurs choix, et en fait elles valent plus que ce cadre, ce formatage-là. Et évidemment, ça me parle beaucoup, et ce que je partageais, c'est que j'ai eu un entretien d'embauche, comme beaucoup d'entre vous qui m'écoutez ce soir. Donc, messieurs, please men, sure, don't ask to any women when you are facing an interview with her, if she plans to get kids, or if she has kids, what are their age. Please stop it, because it's not only that, it's also more than that, and that's really important. Voilà, ne pas réduire la femme à la maternité, et ne pas penser qu'aussi c'est un blocage parce qu'elle décide ou pas d'être mère. Alors, one thing I have, if you find, I have noticed, I have kept a few sentences from your book, Rachel. J'ai gardé des phrases de ton livre. One was really appealing to me. It was this one, talking about self-awareness, because you know that I'm also coaching people today to find their identity, to connect to their own identity. And that was appealing to me. Just let me be, and I will find my way.
Yeah.
Just let me be, and I will find my way. Juste laisse-moi être, et je trouverai mon chemin. Et you see, I'm over emotion again. And
it's not easy, because you know, right? If you and I let me be, and we love each other, and we say, I accept you for who you are, how much more beautiful would the world be if we didn't judge, if we didn't criticize, if we said, I love you just the way you are.
Exactly. And the problem is that today we are prevented to fulfill as we are, and even just to connect to our true self, because the society is encouraging the I'm sorry, I'm over emotions. Wow.
I don't ever apologize for your emotions. That's something else society. We all own our own emotions. Our emotions belong to us.
Wow, so that's a sentence I really wanted to share today, because it's a good conclusion to these famous processes to fulfill as a woman also. And a question which would be less heavy, less dense food. Let's talk about dreams and projections. So, if you have been in another country, in another area, if you have lived in another part of the history, future or past, what kind of personality would have you? And in what kind of story, in what kind of history period, and which area?
So, like, my dream destination, like where I want to go to?
Yes. What kind of personality you could have been in another world, in another,
On my bucket list, I have a couple places I want to go to. Number one, hands down, I have dreamt of Italy my entire life.
Wow.
Since I was younger, and I'm talking like so Italy has just like India's called to my soul, and I have other countries I want to visit. Italy, there has called to me my whole life, and I know I'll know the reason why once I get to Italy. But that's there's something there, and I have to go there to experience it, and I'm gonna do that. But I love everything about it, so I know there's a reason why. I don't know. It's because I love art. I love the food. I love people. I've had wonderful Italian friends in my life. So yeah, it's Italy. It's Italy. Yeah.
So in Italy, you said yes.
Well, that's my dream. That's my dream.
Oh, wow. Okay. And in the past or in the future?
In the future.
In the future, yes.
But it's been a huge part of my soul my whole life.
Wow.
And I don't understand why, but I will as soon as I land there.
Okay. Ok. Alors du coup, vous l'avez peut-être compris. Voilà, si je lui ai demandé si elle avait été à une autre époque, dans un autre endroit, une autre personne, elle aurait été qui ou quand? Est-ce que ce serait été le futur ou le passé? Et elle nous parle de l'Italie parce que ça lui parle profondément, culturellement, dans la cuisine, voilà, c'est quelque chose, c'est vraiment un endroit qu'elle adore et elle se projette bien dans le futur là-bas. Voilà, parce que elle a des amis, etc. Italiens. Wow! Alors, that Italy, I love also that culture because they are really well known to be so warm.
Yeah.
And authentic and spontaneous and just building relationships like that. And
I want to visit Paris.
Yeah.
You're going to get like a text from me like, hey, yeah.
Actually, I think that if you have to visit Italy, you have to come to pass through France.
I would love to visit France. That's another place.
So one more question. I love this one. So writing a book, what emotional process from the idea to signing your first autograph?
Huge emotional process because of the I had to go through everything that I had been through to write it. And it was also, let me say this, it was extremely healing for me. It was very, very healing to get the emotions out, to talk about them. I love to write. It's one of my outlets, like walking. It's how I deal with PTSD. So writing for me is very healing. And it unlocks those things that I might not be able to express on a unconscious level.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. And that do have an impact for me because, that sometimes we are just keeping things in the unconscious. And we don't realize how important it is to express themselves, not to keep them inside, because we can transfer them to this or whatever. That's huge, yes. Ce que Rachel partage, du coup, c'est que l'écriture, pour elle, ça a été d'abord et avant tout un processus de libération, de guérison, parce que ce qu'elle a vécu était en train de la tuer à petit feu. Et vraiment, pour elle, ça a été évidemment beaucoup, beaucoup d'émotions de commencer ce travail d'écriture et qui aujourd'hui est devenu un moyen, évidemment, d'exprimer ce qu'elle a vécu, mais aussi d'inspirer, de partager. Talking about leadership, Rachel. Yes.
I keep looking at the screen because I can't get over how much the similarities we have.
No. Let's talk about leadership because you are here also for that. So you inspire definitely many men and women with your story and your resilience. Again, I am really admiring your strength and your resilience. How do you define inspiring leadership?
That it's not about you. Every single day, my whole life will never be about me. It's about inspiring and motivating the people we come across each other's paths, right? So to be an effective leader, whether it's in business, life, personal, are you empowering people? It's not like here's a leader, here's a team. No, we're together. And we work together to lift everybody up. That to me is an effective leader. I've seen come across paths with the worst leaders ever, and then I've come across the paths with the best leaders ever. There needs to be this and not this. You know, it's a team. It's a team.
Yes, so absolutely. So talking about empowerment, of course, working closely together, not in a domination. It's not a question of power or authority, but it's well working together, building together the solution probably. And it's not only about, of course, it's absolutely not about ourselves, but others. Yes, that's your message.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that our world, we do need inside organizations and in every aspect of our life, we do need this kind of leaders. And more and more, with specifically this time, the crisis time, we do need more and more people who are able to care others, to care each other. Yes, right?
Yeah, now is the time for empathy. Now is the time for love. Now is the time for kindness. And I only choose to be around kind, positive people only. I know the benefits of it. I know the long-term benefits of it. Yeah, we need more empathetic people. And you and I are working on that. We're saying like, be kind, open your heart, be there for people. Because people right now, today, are hurting more than they ever have. That's the reality of it. And we choose a positive path.
Ah, positive, yes. Thanks for sharing that. Alors, le leadership inspirant pour elle, c'est bien un leader justement qui ne pense pas à soi, mais qui pense aux autres. Je suis désolée, je suis très émue et je n'ai pas de mouchoir à portée de la main, donc je suis là. Comme j'ai l'impression d'avoir. I have the impression to be 12, you know, when you were crying and you don't have any.
Yeah,
like a kid, I'm sorry again. Et en fait, un leader inspirant pour elle, c'est bien un leader qui justement pousse les autres, promeut les autres. C'est un leader qui se met au même niveau, justement. Donc, c'est de l'humilité. C'est un leader humble et qu'elle est vraiment convaincue qu'on a de plus en plus besoin de ce type de leadership empathique pour pouvoir accompagner les autres tout simplement à trouver aussi leur place et à s'élever ensemble. Ce que je partageais, c'est que je suis vraiment convaincue que c'est aussi, notamment dans ces temps de crise, on a vraiment besoin de ce type de leadership qui permettent aux autres, qui donnent aux autres le fameux pouvoir d'agir. Parce elle parlait d'empower people, c'est vraiment donner aux autres aussi le pouvoir d'agir et leur rendre leur autonomie, leur responsabilisation. A question about values. You have already shared a lot of things, but in a summary, what kind of values do you have inherited from your several families?
From my family? Like, I've learned so much. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Give back to this world. I've had 4 phenomenal role models in my life. Huge. Like my aunt, my uncle, my mother, my father. Work for everything that you want. I've been blessed to see them work, and then they became successful, and then they gave back to the world. So those have been my role models. And just be kind, be a good human being. That I can't explain to people how much that opens doors, that will open doors in their life for them. And some people are missing that. They think that that's not going to be the path to their success.
Okay.
That is the path to their success.
Yes, We can feel it, definitely. Ce sont vraiment des valeurs de générosité, de simplicité, de partage qu'elle a reçues. Et elle est, en fait, elle ressent beaucoup de gratitude d'avoir reçu tout ça de sa famille. One last question, but not a small question, quite a sensitive one. Pour ceux et celles qui nous joignent en live, pour ceux qui êtes là, for some of you who are currently attending this live, it's the last question. So thanks, really thanks for your patience, your presence there. If it was your last day here, what would you like to be said about you? And in the same question, do you believe in reincarnation?
So this is something that I've thought about a lot because I've almost died 3 times in my life. So you know that from reading. What would I want to someone to stand up and do a eulogy and say that she did everything in her power to leave a footprint of positivity. That she, that hopefully it will say she made this world a better place. That's my hope.
Okay.
That's my hope. I will not leave a negative footprint. I won't do it. It's just not the route I'm going to go. That's my hope.
So making this world a better place, yes.
And leaving a footprint of positivity.
Mm.
That's really important to me. Very important.
Ok, alors à la question, si c'était ton dernier jour sur Terre, qu'est-ce que tu voudrais qu'on dise de toi? C'est qu'elle aura tout fait, elle aura fait tout son possible pour pousser, pour s'élever elle aussi, et pour pousser les autres et à rendre ce monde meilleur, du coup, avec un esprit extrêmement positif. Et c'est vrai qu'on lui reconnaît, je crois que vraiment, Rachel, on te reconnaît cet état d'esprit extrêmement positif qui te guide, qui t'anime depuis toujours. I can feel this positiveness, this positive mindset right now in your transmission and every day when I'm trying to follow you. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's probably your main strength, yes?
It's my mantra? Is that my mantra?
Your mind strength, sorry, force.
Force. Part of it, yeah. Part of it's to so if you put the 3 things together, like my legacy, why I'm still here after almost dying 3 times, and 2 people have told me that my story's not done after that happened, to almost die 3 times. So it's not done. So I don't take anything for granted. I don't take people for granted. I don't take my life for granted. So it's not done, and I'm still writing the story. But I will write the end of my story. I had no control over the beginning of my life, but I'll write the ending of my story. And that's extremely important to me.
One last question, Rachel. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Do I believe in reincarnation? I don't believe that this has been my only journey. I believe that, we have a soul. I believe that our soul, whether it's traveled, all over. Look, my soul was placed. Here's a perfect. My soul was placed in India in a woman who passed, and my mom who passed away. That soul was put, and look what happened as I've traveled through my life. Right? So, do I think it will be the end of my story? No. No, I don't.
Everything is said.
Destiny. I'm fully aware of. I'm very in touch with my soul. It's really important to me. I write from my soul. I communicate through my soul. I think that people shut that down in themselves, and that's not something I do. And I consciously do things during the day to tap into that part of myself. And am I helping my soul? Just like if I'm doing art or I'm doing out in nature, those are things I need to do to tap into my soul. And so I listen to it. Yeah.
Ok. Alors à la question si Rachel croit en la réincarnation, elle a répondu qu'elle ne pense pas que ce soit sa seule vie ici, effectivement, et qu'elle est extrêmement ouverte, une grande ouverture de conscience pour justement s'ouvrir à toutes ces énergies-là. Rachel, one last.
I didn't know if it was in French. Okay, I was like,
Rachel, I'm with you again. Another sentence I kept from your book, and I think it's a super summary about your personality, opening to alterity, to others, empowering people, caring people. I am because you are.
Yeah.
What would you share to us for the last sentence before we let this life? Before we let everyone tonight.
Do your part to make this. Do your part to make this world a better place. My mantra in this world is, from Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. That's my mantra, and I think it was extremely powerful words. So there's a lot of things I want to change. There's a lot of things that I want to see happen in my lifetime, but I'm going to do that part in order for it. I'm not going to sit back. I don't believe in complaining. I don't make excuses. I'm going to do my part to make those changes that I want to see. Do your part.
Faites votre part et faites votre part dans ce monde-là. Soyez une partie du changement. Elle partage une phrase de Gandhi. Rachel, sois le changement que tu veux voir dans le monde. C'est une phrase que je connais bien aussi, qui est son mantra, mais qui me porte aussi beaucoup. Et en fait, faites juste votre part du job, quoi. Voilà, pour changer le monde. Thank you so much, Rachel, again.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. Ami. C'est
Merci. And I know that it was not a super. I really do hope that it was not too much uncomfortable exercise switching between French and English. It was my first experience. So pour vous qui nous avez suivis en live, for some of you who are attending this live, just comment, share to us any feedback about the how and the why and the what with Rachel. And you can connect her to her also on LinkedIn specifically, Rachel. Yes, you would prefer to get connection on LinkedIn. I think you can follow her. Vous pouvez la suivre sur LinkedIn, Rachel Beck. Et encore une fois, merci beaucoup, Rachel.
Merci beaucoup, Ami.
Merci à toutes et tous. Passez une très très belle fin de soirée et je vous dis à mardi prochain. C'est un super live aussi, ne le manquez pas celui-là.